Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, are my fellow gremlins, Nate.
It's a 10. It's a 10.
It is a 10. And Lisa.
Rainbow.
That was a...
Okay, hold on. Do we get Lisa to do Gizmo sounds for gremlin sounds for every episode now?
My word. That was fairly good.
Wow.
Thank you.
I figure if Nate tried it, it would sound a little like a Sean Connery Gizmo, you know. So
Gizmo is the last one in this. So there you go.
Well, welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who's usually not someone we would consider a horror fan. You know, Lisa, you've been gone for so long now. It feels like you're back to being like an unsuspecting victim again. It's you know, you
does it though?
You've had a break. You know, I think your tolerance, maybe, you know, it's like when you haven't drank for a while, like, you know, had alcohol for a while, yes. You know, your tolerance kind of drops a little bit. Do you feel that way a little bit with horror movies?
I think the nice thing is we've kind of eased back into it. Mm-hmm. You know, between Halloween 4 and Gremlins 2, it's been okay. It's been a nice, easy transition back into watching
not exactly
movies.
Yeah, not exactly a lot of frightening scares.
I said ish.
I think Gremlins 2 might be more scary than Halloween 4, personally.
You think so?
Some of the jump scares are really good in this one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we are, you know, getting a little wet and eating some food after midnight by talking about Gremlins 2.
Phrasing. Jesus Christ.
All right. Well, look, before we get into our movie of the week, let's have a little debate question.
Bid our father, the Sea King, rise from the depths full foul in his fury. Black waves teeming with salt foam to smother this young mouth with pungent slime.
Look, I've got a couple debate questions in mind for this one. One that I absolutely want to ask you is, look, part of, I think, what hurt this movie when it first came out was that they waited too long between the first one and the second one to make it. Now, it's been quite some time. I mean, 30 years since this movie's come out?
Yeah.
So my question is, I mean, it's time for Gremlins 3. Where does Gremlins 3 take place? Because Gremlins 1 is Everytown, USA. Gremlins 2 is in super deluxe, office business tower, New York City.
Gremlins take Manhattan.
Yeah. We just go straight to Manhattan, right? We don't even go to the camp. Where does Gremlins go next from here?
Space.
Oh, you went right to space. Oh no. Usually space is the desperation move, so I'm really interested to hear.
Yeah. So how
space is gonna be like?
Is Gizmo just stowing away on space? Like,
is this an ET? Like, is this like
okay? Look,
go back.
You know Gizmo, okay? If you took Gizmo to Cape Canaveral, you know he's just gonna toddle off and end up on a spaceship. Mm-hmm. That's what he does. And then he's not going to realize that he floats and the water floats up there. So he's going to float right into some water.
Ooh, sorry.
Wait. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Is this how Apollo 13 happened? Hold on a second. Oh my God.
Gizmo's what shut that shit down.
It was Gremlins.
I like it, actually.
Wow.
I don't know. You almost had a nice, when you kept saying float, I thought you were going to go into, it was a crossover with Pennywise,
I lose you with Gizmo, and then Pennywise just snatches you. What is this movie called, Lisa? I have to ask the question. No one ever has a good title, but it must continue.
What was the tagline for Gremlins 2?
The New Batch.
The New Batch.
The New Batch. I have no idea.
Ooh,
I really don't.
Space furballs. Terrible.
That was I like he said no one, including you, has a good one. Man. Okay.
Yeah, that's tough.
What about you, Nate? Where are you taking the franchise?
We went small town. We went to the big city, just like Joe Dante. His previous movie right before this one. I'm gonna go to The Burbs.
Okay.
So you had the small town. I want to do like a suburban. You're ruining a whole neighborhood. I want to see Gremlins go into like the rec center and then get all up in the pool and then ruin an HOA meeting. Like I'm talking, like we really. Kids are on the slides and on the swing sets and everything in the little park. They're getting terrorized. They're doing cannonballs in the pool.
What's it
called? What's it called? Damn, that's it. The names are so hard. Why did I bring this
having
up?
trouble
Whose
today.
stupid idea was this? I know Gremlins. I don't know. Mog, why are we doing this? I have no idea.
That could literally be the title for all three of our options, probably.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine like how this would go, right? So they're terrorizing kind of that whole area. PTA meeting, HOA meeting. Neighbor calls the cops on a party. Cop like peeks over the fence. Who is it? Bunch of gremlins, right? I mean, it could be hilarious.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have space. We have suburb. Like what suburb? I mean, is this going to get close to like Leprechaun into Hood territory? Or is this like, what are you thinking when you think suburb? Like, are you thinking like Dallas, like super rich area? What?
Yeah, it would be like kind of a
like. Is this going to be so? In Houston, we have was it where the Bushes live?
River Oaks.
Yeah, is it Gremlins and River Oaks? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, it would be like a upper medium level like suburb, not where we live, but like higher up than that. Like it was a level or two up.
Not in this shithole.
So that would be even more hilarious.
Okay,
right? It would be. I mean, imagine the neighborhood security guard trying to corral these gremlins. That could be instant gold comedy also right there.
Okay.
On a golf course, gremlins driving a golf cart. Oh my God. They're in the country club. Oh man, this would be fun. Yeah. Someone's got to make this. This is great.
See, for me, we're looking forward, we're looking at the future, but for me, when you go forward, sometimes it's better to think back. And I think the third is a prequel. We get the origin story, because look, they didn't just show up in Chinatown, USA. Mogwai came from somewhere.
Yeah,
where did they come from? Who was here before Mogwai?
Came from space. That's Lisa's.
Well, did they come from space? We don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. It could be an interesting.
Yeah.
Could be an interesting
Lisa
kind of four.
space.
Space could be number 4. 3, you go back, you find out they're from space. 4 is Mogwai returning home.
Is this like Star Trek? Is there a whole like political battles between the Mogwai about like trade routes and shit? Like, is that where we're going with
And
this?
what's their relation to the MIB?
Okay, is that Warner Brothers? So this movie's clearly Warner Brothers, as we'll get into when we talk about this movie.
Is Men in Black? I don't know.
Is it?
That would
Okay. Let me look this up. Let me look
a
this up.
fantastic crossover.
No, it's Amblin Entertainment. I think it's Paramount. That's disappointing.
Can you imagine
Sony
a Gremlins
Pictures, Paramount.
Men in Black crossover?
I can. I'm not happy about it.
Oh, I think it would be great.
I mean, Amblin also did Gremlins.
One
too.
of the Gremlins just gets one of the memory sticks.
Hold
and
on,
just
they're in the
zaps
same
everybody.
production company. This could work. This could work.
They're both Amblin.
Yeah, they're both Amblin.
Oh yeah, because they're Steven Spielberg's, right?
Mm-hmm. There you go. Got it.
Well, there you go. Well, there you go. Warner Brothers, Amblin. You know, I think we've figured out your next big hit. So give it to us, I guess.
Give it to us. Chris Hemsworth, Gizmo. There you go. You got it covered.
You know, Chris Hemsworth would be good. I'm trying to think who else would be. I don't think I can do it. Billy again. Phoebe Cates. I mean, what is she even doing anymore? I guess we'll find out soon enough from you.
We will find out. Spoiler alert.
All right.
Not a ton.
So before we get into that, of course, let us know what your ideal Gremlin sequel would be. You can let us know at TexasPodcastMassacre@gmail.com, TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, and Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else. With that said, guys, I'm so excited to talk about this movie. Let's get into this week's movie of the week, Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
Remember the last time we told you not to feed them after midnight? We told you to keep them away from the light. And the most important warning of all, we told you to never, ever get them wet. You didn't listen.
They're mutating.
Sir, is the building on fire?
No, that's a false alarm.
Are you trying to panic New York City?
Absolutely not. So the monsters are real?
I didn't say that.
Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
Now, was that civilized? No, clearly not. Fun, but in no sense civilized.
What do you even do with that?
Good question.
If you saw that trailer, I mean, today, you would just look and you would be very confused, right? Like,
yeah, there's a lot going on in this one. A lot going on.
Now, Lisa, as our unsuspecting victim, can you give us what was the elevator pitch for this movie? How did someone get this movie greenlit?
They said, guess how much money we made? Guess how much money we could make? We're making a sequel.
Okay, so what is this movie about?
This movie is about our really cute friend Gizmo and how he is taken away from the only family he's ever known. And he somehow miraculously manages to get back with his caretakers from the first movie. And in hilarious Gizmo fashion, accidentally spawn some gremlins.
Yeah.
It was an accident. Yeah. He tried really hard not to, but, you know, it happened.
We'll get into that. He could have tried a smidge harder.
There's a lot that could have been different.
There's a lot of smidges in this one that were not done.
There's a lot that could have been different.
Yeah. Okay, Nate. Well, sorry. Before we get into, Nate, all the facts you've been diligently studying up on and digging up for us, we do need to tell you about this episode's sponsor, which is, of course, our good friends at Shudder. So you've heard us talk about Shudder before. It is one of our absolute favorite streaming services. You can see all sorts of horror movies, both classics, brand new ones. Nate, you and I have been watching a bunch. I adore the movie Scare Me. I think I've watched it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, so Mitch had me go back and watch it with him, and it was really, really good.
Yeah, they got a lot of cool stuff. I mean, you can watch it pretty much on any of your devices. I watch it on my Xbox or my iPhone. Nate hates Apple products for
Android.
I don't know. I really, one of the things I actually kind of liked this Halloween season was they actually have Shudder TV, and literally it's just a 24-hour just like rotating thing of all their movies. So if you get on Shudder and you want to see horror movies, you're like, I can't pick one horror film, just put it on Shudder TV. It just goes live. It just runs. It's awesome. I really enjoy it.
I did that when the app opens. For me, on my Roku, it automatically like starts what's happening. And the last couple times it's happened, I've just opened up the app and someone is just getting absolutely murdered. The timing is just amazing. I don't know what happened there. It's only $5.99 a month or $56.99 for an entire year.
If you go to shudder.com, shudder.com, we have a promo code right now that you can use and you'll get a free 30-day trial. So just use our promo code TPM, like Texas Podcast Massacre. That's TPM at shudder.com. You're going to get 30 days for free.
That's right.
So it's exciting.
All right. Well, yeah. So go check that out, get signed up, and enjoy. Sorry. So let's get into this movie. Gremlins 2 is maybe a childhood classic for me. I've watched this so many times. So Nate, tell me, I almost think I could have done this segment. I think I'm in the weeds on Gremlins 2.
You're in the. I don't know what that even means.
No one knows what it means, Nate. But go ahead.
Okay, so I had some stats, but let me just bring it down for you right from the jump, just to temper the good feelings. Gremlins 1, bona fide hit in '84, right? It's made for $11 million, made $212.9 million in the box office.
Yes.
Runaway smash hit. Then they waited 6 years to do Gremlins 2. They made it. They got a budget of $50 million. They really went all out. And then the movie theaters, it made 41.5. Yeah. I did my own drop there. That's why we haven't seen a Gremlins 3. But I do think it is ripe for coming back because they're redoing everything and Gremlins is awesome. So, I mean, no downside there. So, yeah, this came out June 15th. 1990. Do you guys see this as a summer movie? Would you release this in summer?
I honestly don't know. It's it's in New York. It's hard to tell. There's no real like season because it all takes place indoors.
This seems like a fall movie to me. I don't know. This is like putting this in the summer against blockbusters. It seemed like maybe that was part of the reason why.
So you wanted this? This is a Christmas movie, just like Die Hard.
This could be a Christmas movie. It could be a Thanksgiving, fall. I don't know, something.
Because the first one's during Christmas time, right?
Yeah, the first one is absolutely a Christmas film.
Yes. So I don't know, but anyway, I think they made mistakes. The movie itself is good. I think they made mistakes how they released it. The director of this is Joe Dante. He directed the first one. Mm-hmm. He directed The Howling, Piranha, The Burbs. He did. So I got to give a shout out to Indiana. He did a couple Erie, Indiana episodes. If you guys remember that TV show from the early 90s.
I don't think I ever saw it, but I do remember it.
Oh man. Well, if you're from Indiana, you definitely check it out.
Well, yeah, I figure that's like
it's right in now. The title. Like, yeah, come on. I think it's still probably playing on syndication locally in Indiana as we speak. Not a lot of Indiana-based TV shows.
Makes sense.
And then he's done a lot of like recent more TV work. He's got a movie in production called The Man with Kaleidoscope Eyes about Roger Corman. So that could be awesome. And how do I pronounce this? Labyrinthus. Is a crew enters a mysterious maze buried underneath an abandoned Soviet research facility where supernatural disturbances occur. So those are his next two upcoming movies. Are you excited about that, Mitch? Your face says you don't know what to make of this, and that's why I wanted to say that. So
the Labyrinthus.
Labyrinthus. Yeah.
I mean,
doesn't seem like it's winning you over.
Maybe we're still workshopping titles. I would maybe kick that around and kick that around a little bit more. That sounds like one of those ones you type up, like when you're typing a paper or something. Or okay, so we've talked
like
about
Lorem Ipsum.
Well, we've talked about my old band days, right? When you're writing lyrics, right, and you're like, oh man, this is. I've got this idea and it sounds really poetic and cool. And I'm so clever, right? And you're writing it down. And then when you go and sing it, you're like, that felt weird coming out. I'm going to have to fix that. That's what I feel like Labyrinthus is.
Do you want to get with this Labyrinthus?
Yeah, it probably looks a lot better on paper than it does.
I agree. I 100% agree. Taglines for this movie: take your batch to see the new batch. I don't think enough kids saw this movie, so that's probably why. Bring the family. Gremlins 2. Here they grow again. That's great. That's clean. 4 words, money. And then it was, we warned you, remember the rules. You didn't listen. That's average.
Well, I mean, look, if I didn't listen, how would I remember the rules?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Just
like get them really
take
wet,
out the
right?
middle. We warned you. You didn't listen. Gremlins 2.
Yeah,
done,
that's it.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So this movie is PG-13. Gremlins the original one, previous episode, was rated PG, but it essentially started the PG-13 rating because they're like, ooh, we need something extra for this middle ground that is Gremlins. So
really,
yes. So this one
That's
was PG-13. Yeah, there was almost a sexual assault with the female gremlin in a wedding dress against the guy. I mean, was that PG? I mean, come on.
There's a whole kitchen massacre.
A lot of exploding, oozing gremlins. One gremlin just shot another point blank in the face. I mean, I don't know if PG was cutting it on this one.
Yeah, this tagline could have been "It's goopy" because that's the majority of this film.
Goopy. Yeah, it's there is pungent slime. Look, I think The Lighthouse actually nailed it on this one. There's a lot of pungent slime, a lot of mouths on this one. We have a Hulk Hogan sighting in this one.
We do. Wrestling
Mitch is huge
fans. Yeah. Well, it used to be our get out of here witch drop when we did spoilers or spoiler free things.
Exactly. We got Hulk Hogan yelling at you in the movie, or yelling at them to
he cuts a hell of a promo against those gremlins. Absolutely.
Yeah, so he's got that. We got Leonard Maltin essentially giving a terrible movie review to Gremlins 1, getting overrun by gremlins, and then immediately reversing his opinion on the film.
So
which was pretty hilarious.
And I believe that was actually his authentic review of Gremlins 1, which is I love it. I was like, well, yeah, I hated the movie, but I'll certainly cash a cameo check if you'll have me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, hopefully whenever they do the Suckling 2, maybe we can get in on that sweet cameo deal. I'll give it the same treatment.
Wow. Suckling 2. I wouldn't be waiting a long time for that. We also got, obviously, all-time classic horror actor Christopher Lee. He's essentially a mad scientist in this one. Lisa's smiling. Christopher Lee, universally fantastic.
He's great.
Would you say that every movie he's in is a horror movie? Just by him being in there, it's instantly a horror movie.
I really didn't like those Star Wars movies, so I might count that.
Yep. Two Towers. A horror movie.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
What is more terrifying than walking trees?
Like a real skinny, emaciated, creepy as hell Christopher Lee spinning you around with wizard moves. Probably creepier. So then the leads in the film are like the least exciting people in the whole movie. So
I like them.
And they're so bland. They're everyday people, but I don't know. I think the shtick
they're supposed to be relatable.
Were they relatable? Did
I'm
it
so
work?
relatable. I'm like a genius architect. That knows how to deal with Mogwai infestations.
He hadn't gotten a promotion yet. He
wasn't an architect. He just was the illustrator.
The drawer. Yeah. Anyway, Zach
The
Galligan.
Are you sure you're not? Are you sure you're not from the South, Nate? The drawer.
The rural drawer.
The rural drawer.
Yes. So Zach Galligan plays Billy Peltzer again. He was also in Waxwork, in a variety of stuff. I don't really care about him at all. He was in Hatchet 3. I got a couple things written out. We got Phoebe Cates. Phoebe Cates, her whole career kind of went from like 1982 to like 1994, and then she's been in like 2 things since. So she isn't even acting anymore. But if you want to see her in Gremlins, Gremlins 2, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and the classic, essentially horror film Drop Dead Fred, then
oh yeah,
yes. So those are her main highlights. You got John Glover as is he a billionaire? Daniel Clamp, the billionaire, multimillionaire. His probably biggest movie was Scrooged. He was in the Mouth of Madness. So that's more horror chops there. Yep. He's like always kind of like an evil scientist-y dude a lot of the time. He gave Poison Ivy her powers, essentially, in the classic film Batman and Robin. That's one of the main things I remember him from. He was a huge part of the Smallville TV show. Mitch, huge Smallville fan.
Of course. Oxymoronic there, but yes.
Yeah, you're a huge Small fan. Lisa, you Smallville fan?
Yeah, I watched Smallville.
Okay, there you go. I used to binge watch Smallville episodes while I was studying for finals. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
How that happened.
No, my asshole college roommate just watched all of Smallville until like 4 a.m. every morning when I was like taking like calculus and all that crap. And I hate Smallville because of that.
You're in chemistry class and you're just like, you just have like you fall asleep and you wake up and you've just drawn like the elemental stuff of kryptonite.
Well, that's right. Well, look, here's the thing. I am a Batman fan to begin with. So yeah, Smallville wasn't high up on my priority first off. And then
also the fact that it was not good at all. It was also probably a fact.
Then I have this asshat over here just like coasting in his BS major watching Smallville till the early morning saying that I'm the problem. You know what?
Wait, is this the same roommate from the other story?
Yes. Look, after this roommate, I literally got into a private door and just said, people aren't for me. I'll pay the extra.
Smallville drove you away. That is awesome. Wow. Okay. Well,
I didn't realize this was going to trigger me like it did.
We did it. Go back to our 1BR episode to find out about Mitch's roommate troubles. Because that's a pretty great episode. All right. Yeah. So there's that. So let's just get into it.
Look, the last thing,
there's a lot we can talk about, but
certainly the last thing I do want to say, because you can never talk enough about Christopher Lee, but Nate, were you aware that Christopher Lee has a death metal band called Charlemagne?
Yes.
Have you listened to Charlemagne?
Yes, I have.
Lisa, have you listened to Charlemagne that you're aware of?
I mean, you probably have made me listen to it.
I am absolutely 100% positive I've made you. It is, think of like just like straight, like these just like brutal like riffs, right? But like old school, like Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath type stuff. But then Christopher Lee just talking over it. And it's
kind of like a metal Shatner.
It is. It's
metal Shatner.
If you are not, we need to tell why I hate this album, guys. Charlemagne needs to be one of the albums they do. Maybe next Halloween. Yeah. Anyway, check that out, Charlemagne.
Okay, that's Rich's recommendation of the week.
Yeah. Move out of the way. Bring me the horizon. Give me Charlemagne. All right, look, all right. So this movie, Nate, we open up in Little Chinatown. I don't remember in Gremlins 2 or in Gremlins, did Billy's dad actually drive all the way out to New York for Gizmo?
Yeah, man, he's hustling with all the inventions.
I guess it was work travel. I don't know how he got flying back then. Must have been so easy because no way he gets a gremlin on a plane and with today's TSA. No way in hell. He's got to at least like check that, right?
Yeah.
Check your animal. That animal's dead when you land. All right. Jesus. Seems like a carry-on. You could handle it in a carry-on. No problem. Oh, then the stewardess, then there's like turbulence and she's giving you your drink and it's and then on the plane.
Yeah.
Gremlins on a plane.
Gremlins on a plane. Well, can we go back to our segment? I'll just work this back in. Lisa, I got to ask. How did you like this pitch from Clamp to buy out the China shop?
I mean, honestly, if it were me that owned the shop, I would have taken the deal. I've been like, look, business is slow. It's fine. Me and the Mogwai can retire. Yeah. Buy me out. I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, when was quick, all right.
When you have that deep like chest cough, that's usually a good time to maybe rein it in.
It's a good time to maybe, I don't know.
I can't imagine he's got his own health insurance by then, right?
Because this is exactly what happens in The Witches, all right? You get a deep cough. The doctor says you need some seaside air. You go take a vacation.
He's already in New York. He's seaside-ish.
Yeah, sure.
In New York,
that real clean air in New York. Yeah, just breathe in that fresh New York air.
When he coughed, it reminded me of an episode of Children's Hospital where the one character coughs and he's like, "Ooh, that cough sounds expensive." Like it was that kind of a cough. Like, oh no, this is not. Well,
great. that's what the a-hole security guy pretty much says, right? Yeah, it's like he's dead. We're fine.
That was harsh. That was harsh.
So okay, so we move from there to the Clamp Towers. I love all the automation in this building. And that it never works. Like this is a good reminder because I think it's actually probably the closest thing to reality, Nate, in this movie, is that nothing works in this building.
Yeah.
And so people who are worried that automation is like the next Skynet and we're all going to die from our robot overlords, they can't get the damn rotating door to work on a consistent basis.
Alexa, turn on fan. Alexa, turn on fan. Turn on fan. Like this is whenever everyone has probably done that once in their life. This entire
your order of flan is on the way.
Exactly. Did you want to hear about a tribe called Quest? Like I did not say anything. Why is this happening? That one happened to me recently. I don't. This is more. It's very realistic because imagine in 1990 trying to pull off this stuff. I mean, we can barely pull it off now. Imagine 30 years ago. There's just no way anything works.
Yeah.
Pretty hilarious.
Yeah. We have cars that do the automatic backup, right? And in parallel park, and I still don't even trust that shit. So yeah, I can't. I think movies about the fear of automation. You don't trust
automatic drawers that just randomly open in case you need something.
That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. That is an absolute liability.
You're just standing there, ACL tear, just right in the kneecap. It's over.
Oh God, I don't know what. So I love this whole building. None of it makes sense. There's like a bar, there's like a nightclub. It looks like at one point there's an ice cream bar in the middle of it. Is this a mall? It doesn't even know what it's trying to be. Is it a mall? It's a corporate space. Is it a TV network?
It's everything, man. It's like a city in a building. It's got all the facets.
No.
It's got TV shows. It's got office buildings. It's got restaurants.
A genetic testing lab.
Genetic testing labs. All kinds of stuff. They got it all happening there.
Now, Lisa, Christopher Lee, I think you can agree, is a national treasure, even as an unsuspecting victim. I think you'd say that, right?
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
I mean, a national treasure for not our nation.
Do you think they could have done a better job of giving him a better character name than Dr. Catheter?
No, I really like that name actually.
Look, with a name like that, you only got a couple career options. Like,
I liked it. Was that not? Was I supposed to say no?
I don't know.
Playing center field, Johnny Catheter. All right, we got
Lisa. I don't know what I expected, honestly.
Wait, is his first name Doctor, and he doesn't actually have a degree? Oh, that would be amazing. That would be what I would want to see.
Probably so.
He did not have a medical degree. He was doing some really unethical experiments. He might have had it and then lost that license, and then just changed his name to Doctor, then got that job. That'd have been amazing.
So before we get into the arrival of the Gremlins, I mean, so Nate, Lisa, anything leading up that that caught your eye that you kind of enjoyed or that stood out to you, kind of in the lead up with Billy, with the overall TV networks, what Frank, I guess, or whoever the vampire is, I can't remember his name. Anything that could have stood out to you in this movie up to this point?
Yeah, I like Phoebe Cates' hat when she has to give the tour of the building.
Yeah, looks uncomfortable. Looked uncomfortable.
I thought that was great. And I like the vampire guy too. He's been, I think Nate maybe mentioned him, but he's been in some other stuff.
I did not. There's so many things happening in this film. I
know.
Just the interest of time. But yeah, fantastic acting by what's his character's name? Hold on. Sorry, I'm scrolling through. I see I see the Futtermans, but it's definitely not.
It's not the Futtermans.
Grandpa Fred. There we go. What a classic name. Also from horror movie Christine. So there you go.
Now he wasn't actually the guy from Munsters. He's just he's supposed to look like him, right?
Correct. I believe. Okay.
So. Because
we did have Gomez Adams.
Yeah. So
as the janitor also from the 90s version. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
The least good of the Gomez Adams. Probably.
Yeah. Now Nate, so we shared out a picture on our Instagram and Twitter and all that, where I was a demon and you were Captain Canada or something, I think.
I was just a Canadian lumberjack. They're all heroes. They're all heroes. Exactly.
Yeah. So my question is, they go to a very Billy's boss is putting the moves on him now that it looks like he might be up for a promotion. So she's trying to hitch to that wagon. They go to a very chic Canadian restaurant. What is this Canadian restaurant called?
Oh man.
They're definitely serving Molson's. You can hear in the background them going Gretzky Party of Six. and I mean, you could. I
would call it.
This dessert is the biggest moose head I've ever seen in my life.
It's a chocolate mousse. It was like It was so gaudy. It was fantastic. I would go with something like lay beef. Like something like this, like something real classy. Oh, lay beef. Oh, now you walk in, you see a guy just like a Mountie. It's like, yep, got it.
Well, they all were dressed like Mounties, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it has to have like a classy French Canadian.
Well, so you would go French Canadian. You're not going to go. You're not going to go like a English Canadian.
The Northern Bites. There we go.
The Northern Bites is great. That's a fantastic one. All right, we're back in it, Lisa. I have a confession to make. For the longest time in my life, because I watched this movie when I was so young, I literally thought that's what chocolate mousse was. I did not understand the joke until embarrassingly much later in life. I literally thought, "Oh, is that what chocolate mousse is?" That's fantastic.
Awesome. Well,
so cute.
Hold on. Most of the time, I would take that mousse over chocolate mousse. That mousse looked amazing. So
would you have eaten from the antler, sir? Do you want a piece of
which antler do you want? Ooh, I'm gonna have to pass on the antler.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome.
So good.
So wait, back it up. I know we're going on tangents. So the first time that I ordered chocolate mousse, were you just like, what the hell are you doing?
Like, can it fit in the car?
I was like,
Lisa,
I'm full. I can't. You're gonna have to handle so much of these antlers.
I can only do 2 antlers, and then you get the rest.
I mean, I'll nibble on an ear, I guess, but I don't know what else to do.
That's awesome. Imagine telling someone like, look, we're gonna go to the best restaurant. Like, this is a great restaurant. We're gonna talk about business. Where are we going? We're going to a middle to high class Canadian restaurant. I mean, amazing.
Well, here's the thing, and here's why I'm spending a lot of time on this one scene too, because as a child I never paid a whole lot of attention to it because it's just you don't get some of the subtext. It's not even subtext, honestly, but you don't get what's going on fully as a kid. This is the most aggressive footsie I've ever seen. Like, she at one point tries to slide her foot to his junk, but she like slides into it like she's fucking running to home base. I mean, it is just a full on just right in there.
That's how they do it in Canada, Mitch. That's how they do it. They don't got time to mess around.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I mean, what a great scene. And then, I mean, Billy, look, you've got to not like just walk home with lipstick still on you. It's just,
it's a bad look.
Bad look.
Bad look. This guy is just like the everyman, but he's such an idiot. Like, I did not care for him. Everyone else was great. They got Dick Butkus in this movie at like a salad bar. You got Hightower from Police Academy. I forgot his name, but he's there. I mean, you got all these other people, but like the main characters were like the least interesting part for me. But everyone else is pretty solid.
So
the Gremlins were amazing. Obviously.
Yeah, so let's get into the Gremlins. So we mentioned it earlier. Gizmo does really just a shit job of trying not to get wet. I mean, he clearly sees the janitor messing with the sink and it launches water twice at him before he's like, oh, maybe I should like not be in this general area. And then he leaves. It's like a little self-preservation, my man. So we get like what 4 or 5 other furries popping up. Is that the right term, Nate? Furries at this point in this stage?
They're Mogwais.
Mogwais.
No.
All right, so we got
Don't say furries because then people who are googling furries, it's a totally different.
She said gurgling. That was a Freudian slip.
Gurgling furries.
I don't know what the furries are. Mm-hmm. I don't know what Lisa knows more than I do, but.
But I bet you anything at furry conventions, some people do dress up as Gizmo. I'm sure.
Oh, I could see that 100%.
Oh yeah.
Did you have a favorite Mogwai / Gremlin, Lisa, in the group?
I really like the Brainiac Gremlin.
Okay, so you like the brainy gremlin when they transform later. What about What about the Mogwais when they're furry still? They're little baby ones.
Oh, I don't know. Gizmo's my favorite.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Nate?
Maybe because he reminds me of our little Gizmo. TV.
Yeah. Little Damien's probably the little goofy, googly-eyed bastard. It's like super energetic. That's more
HBO, MTV.
Yeah.
What about you, Nate? What was your favorite Mogwai?
I mean, it's not my favorite. It's just the most ridiculous. There is a gremlin made entirely of electricity. I'm not sure what happened. I mean, I saw what happened, but I don't understand what happened. There is an electricity gremlin in this movie. Pure electricity. On video phones, which we can barely even pull off now. So impressive work.
Yeah.
I just saw that Christopher Lee's first name was Cushing Catheter, as in Peter Cushing, who used to be in all the Hammer horror films within the 50s and 60s. So
really,
Cushing
classic.
Catheter.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean, for me, look, the best Mogwai is he's ugly as sin, but the Kraken gremlin is just fantastic. You know what I'm talking about? The one that looks legitimately like the Kraken from it was actually modeled off the Kraken from Clash of the Titans, like the original one.
Really?
Oh, really?
If you look at his face, go look at that Kraken, that little dude's face of the Kraken. He's always the one that's with like the bucktooth like donkey laughing one.
That's interesting.
I thought you were gonna say Nurse Gremlin.
No, I was not a fan of Nurse Gremlin.
Oh, Nurse Gremlin.
Nothing wrong with Nurse Gremlin, just not a fan. No, I mean, look, Spike when he turns into a spider is just the best. I do like the bat Gremlin as well. Basically, look, that Key and Peele skit where they go through all the different gremlins and everyone just like pitches one out. I actually think that's legitimately how this was figured out, because there's so many random ones. There's the vegetable face gremlin. There's the one with all the holes like through it. Everybody gets shot. Yeah, Spike turns into a spider. Electricity gremlin. The woman gremlin.
Greta, the singer gremlin. With the musical number gremlin.
Well, that was still the brainy one, right? Or
no, Greta. She was the singer who popped out of her own face when they had the musical number. Oh,
that's right.
Yeah.
So I mean,
a lot of more gremlins in the first one. They really
a lot of. I mean, it was a lot. I mean, look, everything about this part. I love the Leonard Maltin cameo. What about microwaving with Marge? Lisa, thoughts on microwaving with Marge? That's a cooking show.
That cooking show was so confusing, because if she was microwaving, why did she have a giant pot? I don't know.
I like that she never uses cheese. It's literally like some like cheese product.
Pasteurized milk product.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
A tuna noodle casserole.
I do love how she is so popular, though, that when they have to evacuate the building, she's outside giving tips to people.
Of course.
Has food gotten a lot better since then? Like food is
since the
better.
Microwave, yes,
right. Like I feel like we have better options now than we did with like cold cut bean appetizers. Like, what is happening?
Cold cut.
That's what it was. It was beans and cold. Like, why are we doing this?
Wasn't it bologna?
Yeah, bologna and beans.
Oh my god! She's like, and you can just prep that. You can prep that and have that ready to go.
No.
I'm like, get it ready, have it on a tray, and just dump it in the trash can. That's what I would do. It sounded terrible.
Now, for this movie, there aren't a whole lot of kills. It is relatively
Gremlin
light.
gets shot point blank in the face by Brain Gremlin.
Yes. So is that your favorite kill in this movie?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Like, we're trying for civilization. We're trying to be civilized. Shoots a guy in the face, but we're working on it.
Yeah. It's like funny, but not civilized. Lisa, what about you? Any favorite death scene or kill scene?
I'm trying to remember them all.
Yeah. So
I do like when they transfer the call at the end.
When all of them get like just ganked.
Oh, so the massacre.
Yeah.
So the massacre of all the gremlins.
Because honestly, I forgot about Electric Gremlin. Just putting a word and an adjective together. And
it's true story. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah. And I didn't know where he was going with the whole water thing. I was like, what? And then they're like, oh, so it made sense.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, the brutal kill to me is the gremlin that gets like shoved in the paper cutter.
Oh yeah, like shredded,
just turned straight into goop.
That was pungent slime right there for sure.
You got the one that got Rambo, the spider one that got Rambo'd. Christopher Lee got ganked. I don't know. It's so much good about this movie.
All the murders, love it.
So there's a couple things that stand out to me in this film that are a little different. So first, I'd be remiss, Nate, if I didn't ask you about your thoughts on the meta film breaks and the gremlins are terrorizing the theater. What are your thoughts on this whole scene?
They're breaking like the seventh wall, like in this, like it's like so deep. I don't know. I don't care for that almost ever. So I'm not a huge fan, but the way they did it was entertaining.
So apparently the mom and her daughter that come out in the middle and start complaining about the movie messing up, and the little girl's like, "Mommy, I want to go back in." Apparently that actually happened during the original Gremlins. Joe Dante was outside in the lobby, and a mom with their daughter came in and was like, went to complain about the movie to him, particularly right after like the kitchen massacre scene. Okay. I don't know. I think part of why I love this movie so much is just because there's such a rebuke from Joe Dante on Gremlins itself in terms of like the things that people complained about, or all, it was kind of his sort of way of just kind of getting back at everyone. So like he has this spot here. He has Leonard Maltin read his actual like 1-star review or whatever and get murdered by it. Right. I mean, okay. So do you remember the Phoebe Cates scene where she does the monologue? Do you remember this? When she's talking about her dad and like the...
and they have to like cut her off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So in the first one, it's real dark because she's talking about her dad dressing up as Santa Claus and gets stuck in the chimney and dies. And that's why she hates Christmas. And it's just like really like dark story and monologue. And I love it because I think people complained about it. They were like, I brought my kid to this and they're hearing about this guy dressed as Santa dying in the chimney. What's wrong with you, psychopaths?
This is like the worst. Yeah.
And so in this one, she has a just complete non sequitur, like horrible flashback story. And Billy's response, like, we don't have time for this. We just got to get going.
That's good.
So things like that.
Good meta stuff happening in this film.
Now, Hulk Hogan, Nate, I've inundated you with enough wrestling. I think that you maybe can appreciate a good promo. How good is this promo from Hulk Hogan on the quote unquote Grimsters?
I'm not giving you what you want in this one, Mitch. It was okay. I think you think it's like an all time.
People come in with their popcorn, for that popcorn, and I mean, this is it's perfect.
Could we have replaced him with Macho Man Randy Savage? Then I might have been more interested.
Now Macho Man. Now too much Slim Jim. You couldn't get the Slim Jim endorsement,
dude. I think it was pre Slim Jim.
There you go. No, look, the Hulkster was big in the 90s, man. This is like, I think post Andre the Giant fight. He's like the biggest star in the world at this point. Like, I don't know who you would do now. Like, I don't think there's any wrestler big enough now that anyone would lose their mind over if you like redid it today.
Well, The Rock would be hilarious.
Oh, The Rock would be good. I could see Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You want to put Stone Cold in everything, Mitch. Every movie has Stone Cold if it's up to you.
Yes.
Yes, every movie.
I'm not hearing a bad thing, Nate.
Last episode we did Jawbreaker. What could it have been? Stone Cold Steve Austin as the principal.
Oh, I'll give you a Jawbreaker. Hell yeah. Just like stun him.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That I walked into that.
Take my money. I'm throwing it at the screen. What
is WWE Films doing? Probably not a lot. Like the 100th John Cena movie. Throw a Stone Cold
there's
movie.
There's 8 Marines. Where's a Stone Cold?
Exactly. Yeah.
So wait, no, Stone Cold was in a movie. It was a ripoff of Battle Royale.
Of course. Okay. Of course.
No,
Lisa,
I think you're right. I think The Rock was
Stone Cold Gremlins in space. Can Stone Cold go to space? Is he too folksy?
No, he could go to space.
Okay, Stone Cold. Well, space.
See you in space, brother. Yeah, he could do it.
Stone Cold could be in Starship Troopers.
Oh, that would be amazing.
If you're in Steve Austin's Roughnecks, give me a hell yeah.
Okay, that actually would be awesome. Okay.
No, I think you're right. The Rock could have done this for today's audience. No lie. I think that was a good pick, Dave.
Okay. Wow.
All right, fine. You're not going to give me what I want from here, but that's all right. We're going to move on then. So, okay. So let's talk about this. So ending. So Lisa, for the people who just have not seeing this ending. And I mean, this movie's 30 years old. I'm not even going to bother with a spoiler. I mean, look, we're spoiling this
We've
shit.
not been bothering it at
Plus,
all.
it's Gremlins too. It's fine.
Yeah. You're not missing
Spoiling
a
the ending's not
Shyamalan level
spoiling
twist.
anything.
It's not about the plot in
Yeah.
this one. That's for sure.
Oh, sorry. I do have one more question before we get to the ending. Sorry, Lisa. I jumped ahead, but there's a point where Billy tries to do a responsible thing and tries to cut off water to the entire building, which is another safety hazard. But I guess, one over the other. I get it. He gets arrested. And when they open up the paddy wagon and they're bringing out everyone who got arrested, there's a whole troop of mimes being pulled out, and they're all doing their creepy ass mime shit. What did they get arrested for, Nate? What is your Nate and Lee? Actually, I'm going to step back. Nate and Lisa, I want y'all to team up, mime it up. What could they have possibly gotten arrested for?
I don't know, but the title of that reality show is Mime and Punishment.
God damn, that's good. That's good.
Yes.
That's real good.
Good, Nate. You finally had a good title.
Got it.
Good job.
Bom bom.
It's about mimes trying not to judge each other. It's called Glass Walls. No, it's I have no clue.
You hit a walk off home run and then you never touched home plate. That's basically what just happened. So it never counts.
Sorry, I'm at the end of my rope here. So no, is there miming without a permit? I don't know. Do you need a permit for miming?
Maybe. I don't know. I
don't know. Imagine a mime fight, no one actually hits each other. Oh, that could be amazing. They're just throwing invisible objects at each other and acting like they're getting hit with them. That could be pretty awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of mimes being arrested. I'm not against mimes being arrested because I'm against mimes in general.
Wow.
You can quote me on that. I'm sure if we get a 1-star review about my anti-mimeness, then
my aunt was a saint. She mimed until she couldn't.
My grandfather. My grandfather.
Got too heavy. The rope got too heavy.
God.
My grandfather mimed his ass across Normandy Beach, you insensitive bastard. Bring it. I'll gladly accept that.
Imagine doing the hand thing and then you just a bullet comes past and you just go, what? And then you just you're dodging just like that. That would be amazing.
Yeah, it really triggered something. I think we paused it for a second when the mimes came out. had to calm down.
Anti-mime. Wow.
Very anti-mime. Clowns don't bother me. Mimes don't bother me. I just don't like them. Is that a good way to put it? I think we're going to go with that. Lisa, tell me about this ending. This is a very convoluted plan. Explain to me.
To get them all to the lobby and then flash them with sunlight?
Yes.
And then that to backfire and them to pour water and bring an electric gremlin in to electrocute them all to death? Yeah, that's not convoluted at all.
Yeah, they had to change all the clocks.
It
which
worked.
Is good. Well, fair.
Yeah, he did change all the clocks as if the gremlins give 2 Fs about the clocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for a creature that's apparently real strict about when exactly after midnight constitutes. Sure.
Oh, sorry. Maybe you guys talked and I missed it. I just have to jump back for 1 second. Did we talk about the scene where the main guy is talking to the news people and they're asking him all the questions but what if he eats at, what if he eats at 11:59 and then there's crumbs still on his lips and then he eats the crumbs at 12:01 in the morning. And I'm like,
that was me.
This is all the friggin' questions that they got from the first movie.
That was me.
That's all I love.
Me too. I was like, that's so stupid. After midnight. What does after midnight mean? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
If that's they made the Gremlins change how they looked after midnight, maybe there's some sort of or maybe at nighttime. It should have been at nighttime. is what they should have done. Instead of
Right.
midnight.
Yeah, they should have said don't feed them after the sun goes down.
Yeah, that would have made a little bit more sense because animals
Yeah.
do have different cycles during the day and during the night. Maybe that midnight makes absolutely no sense.
I know. So sorry, I digress. So so the ending just leaves them with a big old puddle of exploded gremlin on the floor. Although I was really enjoying their whole party scene where they're just dancing and singing.
They were
New York. That was fantastic.
Crushing it.
That was really good.
That party looked awesome.
I mean,
until everyone melted
Gremlins go 100%, right? Like they're partying it up.
Well, yeah.
I would want to party with Gremlins if they have.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I never swung on a chandelier before, but I feel like when I party with Gremlins, I have a real good shot.
Yeah.
Right. So
do.
yeah, I just go for it.
So they take out the gremlins. Grandpa Fred has managed to parlay his way into a full-time gig. And I love his next. I love the next thing. He's like, go buy yourself some new clothes. And so then he's going to do an expose on clothes buying. And he takes his camera guy with it.
Grandpa Fred leading the night. Hello, I'm Grandpa Fred. Tonight's news: the Challenger exploded. God, I don't see this guy pulling it off at all.
The home wrecker catches the eye of the main real estate developer. So thank goodness she's out of the way because she was really making me angry.
He's supposedly was a combination of Donald Trump and Ted Turner.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. With all the real estate stuff.
It seemed like more on the Ted Turner side in terms of like.
Yeah, I mean, the Donald Trump was more the tower part.
The
real estate development. But yeah, I think this was more a Ted Turner than a Trump for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
So he's already thinking about the next deal. He's like, we're going to parlay this. We're going to figure it out. We're going to move on. It's going to be fine. So.
It was kind of refreshing though. That like the billionaire guy wasn't necessarily like pure evil. He was just kind of an opportunist, and he would turn it around into a positive opportunity.
Yeah.
Negative. It was a little refreshing that he wasn't just super evil.
No, he's like, look, we'll figure out a way to make some money off of this. Don't worry. The building's insured. We got this covered.
Yeah. Now that the building's insured, the Gremlins did like perfectly. Now I can build whatever I want. Sweet. Yeah. That actually worked out really nicely for them.
Now we can add the elm trees. I did like when he drew the elm trees. Like, take those out because those are just going to depress people.
Yeah, they think Dutch elm. They think Dutch disease. And disease. Like, no, not Dutch elm disease. They think Dutch disease. There was a comma in between Dutch.
Yeah, I don't know
disease.
I don't know. It's like,
I think we have one other victim we didn't talk about, and that was the sad person who found out on live TV that they were no longer the head of public relations because he just like straight up promoted this one girl. There was probably not an opening. Someone probably just got fired. And there's like, wait, what?
Maybe they were killed off screen. Who knows, Mitch?
Fair.
Who knows? Lisa, do you know who voiced who did the voice of Gizmo?
Oh, of Gizmo? Yes. And now I can't remember. It was oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name, but I could see his face. Howie Mandel, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a good job. I love Gizmo.
And Tony Randall was the brain gremlin.
Yes.
Which is, they nailed it on the voice work for this.
Yeah.
Well, this movie ends on a positive note. Love conquers all, and the main head of security, after hearing he'll get the bonus of a half-day vacation once everything's back up and running, just decides, fuck it. This green woman gremlin's down to clown, and I'm with it. So, I think Jeff Goldblum is one that said love finds a way. So
yeah, that's what he said. He also said, hey, we watched Howard the Duck and we're going to flip it this time. There's definitely some interspecies sex scene that hit the cutting room floor or hit the bathroom floor, I guess.
Yeah, they
had to keep it PG-13.
Yeah, it's all over the clothes. action.
I do like how they give her a filter though. Like they give her a very soft light filter as they're filming that scene with her in the bridal gown.
And this lady Gremlin's got the best lipstick of all time because she's kissing him like 8,000 times and all of the lipstick marks still stay.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
It's got to be Maybelline, or else it's like 100. She might have had to reapply her lipstick like 1,000 times to get all those kiss marks. It was pretty impressive. So yeah, there's that. I assume as soon as Billy gets money, he's gonna break up with his girlfriend. I'm just assuming that's right. That's happening. Can we agree on this, Lisa? Are they staying together after this? Seems
yes. They've been through 2 gremlin attacks. They're not going to stay together now.
He's going to get money and be like, "Ooh, you know what?
No, dude, they're not going to stay together, but because this dude is so like hapless, like I just think he's so stupid that he just would not. He would just like this thing. He'd probably wander into an affair without like realizing it.
Yes. Well, he almost did.
Exactly. Like, I don't think he would willingly leave. I think he's just like, I'm just here and things happen.
That's why she's like, I'm sorry. She leaves him then is okay. Fine.
I think that's more realistic.
Totally reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she writes into like one of these like advice columns. She's like, so twice these gremlins have like murdered Billy's whatever people. She didn't like my dad dying in a chimney story.
No.
Did I stay with this?
Well,
guy?
and to your point, Nate. I mean, maybe let's back off on the childhood trauma stories. Like all of our childhoods suck. Just let's move on. All right, look, I could talk about this movie for another 3 hours, but look, I just need to know at this point, what is y'all's final cut?
Final cut.
Lisa, God, it's so nice to have you back. What do you think about Gremlins 2?
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Which
works because there is a lightning gremlin.
There is a lightning gremlin in this one. Yeah.
Obviously I really like this one. I mean, it's very unsuspecting victim friendly. It's very kid friendly too. There's very few episodes that we do in the podcast that I can actually say, yeah, you could sit down with your kids and watch this. It'll be okay.
There's this, The Omen, the Texas Massacre.
My kid loved this movie, loved Gizmo, was very invested from the jump. So this is kid friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PG-13 minus 11. And then that's. Yeah.
So I really like this one. Is there anything in it that brings down my score? I'm trying to think.
The plot?
I was fine with it. I mean, it's a campy mess, but it's okay. It was convoluted, but they still made it make sense. Like how Gizmo got there and all that stuff. So I was okay with the plot. It was fine. I would probably give it a 9 out of 10 Mogwais.
Oh, 9 out of 10.
That's a lot. All right.
Woo!
Nate.
All right, we are in it.
Nate, what are you giving this one?
9 out of 10. I don't know if I can do that. That seems...
You don't have to.
Seems a bit much.
But remember that there's very few movies that we watch where I'm like, I could watch that again. And this is one of them.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. 9 out of 10. So I didn't like it that much. I like the first Gremlins.
Well, no children died. It's already negative for you.
It's negative for me, obviously. No, I like the first one better. Okay. I think they did a little bit too much in this one. So they had 5 times the budget almost. Mm-hmm. They really threw that in the kitchen sink in, but I don't think it worked quite as well. That still being said, this is an enjoyable film, and bring your batch to see the new batch.
Oh,
something. It's good. How good is it? I'm not as into it as you guys. I'm gonna go Oh man, I'm gonna go 6 out of 10.
Oh, disrespectful.
6 out of
That's
10.
it? Really?
Yeah, I think so.
You bonded with your child over this movie and it gets a 6 out of 10.
A little Danny, 10 out of 10 for Gizmo.
I give the first one like an 8 or so, and this one just I don't know. I didn't
2 whole points less than the first one.
Wow.
I think so.
All right, calm down, Leonard Maltin.
Right.
Mitch, did I just get put on an enemies list or something? What happened over there?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
You and Leonard. Next time we see him at a Fantastic Fest, you two can bond over your hatred of gremlins, I guess. Jesus.
It's not hatred. It's a 6. A 6 is solid.
Might as well be a 1. Disrespectful, Nate.
I don't know. It was look. I guess it was. I like ridiculous, no problem. But it was just they threw too much at the wall, I think, on this one, and so it was less focused for me. I like the first one better.
Yeah, no, this movie, Nate, you're wrong. This movie is so great. This movie's great. Like I said, I love the fact that Joe Dante has so many things in there that are pure callbacks. Yes, there's a lot of pop culture cameos. There's a lot of just ridiculous things in terms of like multiple different gremlins. But I think that's one of the few times where like that added to its charm. It's different than like Hellraiser, where they started giving all the Cenobites like backstories and everything, and it just got real convoluted and weird. Yeah. This, I think it gave a little bit of charm, because you knew they weren't permanent, right? It was just allowed you to kind of play around with it and have more fun. This is certainly a little more. It's certainly a funner movie than the original. I actually like this movie better than the original, and I love the original. I really like the original. I just enjoy. I come back to this one more often than not. I think it's got enough kills, and I mean that spider's one of the creepiest spiders in the movie. Like any of them, you know. Yeah, I mean they're still dead. I just love this movie. I am going to give it 9 out of 10 Midnight Snacks.
Oh my God. You guys loved this.
I loved it. It was just so good.
It's good. No, it's good. I mean, I would just, if I'm going to have to pick one, I definitely go Gremlins.
That's fine. You know, it's okay. People can be wrong. But here's Nate, where can they find us?
You can find us in all Gremlins related content at TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre, Instagram, Facebook, and we're on all your podcast platforms: Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, all the rest. Thanks for listening. And we're on YouTube, and check us out in our videos on YouTube. More people have been doing that. For some reason, people are going to see our Bus Party to Hell YouTube video. I don't know why. If you want to hear jokes, if you want to hear jokes about Tara Reid's arm strength, you are in luck. That is definitely happening. Most of that episode. Other than that, I'm not sure, but we appreciate it. And you know, look, we're coming in toward the end of the year. You know, a little bit of a lull after October and Halloween. But for me, you know, I was really busy with the kid and work. I'm keeping Halloween going until the whole rest of the year. It's 2020. We make our own rules. Everything's a dystopian nightmare. Might as well just make it Halloween 100% of the time. So we are keeping the spirit up until the end of the year. So we'll be doing extra horror movies here and there, posting about them, and we're gonna keep it going all the way to the end.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that'll wrap it up for this week's episode. Thank you from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre. Thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.